Hello everyone, I'm Nido King and we're playing Sinner's Sacrifice for Redemption yet again. You may be wondering, what is there left to do? We've gone through and redeemed everyone, we've gone through and redeemed no one. Could there be some random point in the middle where something different happens? Actually, yes. Believe it or not. I'm gonna start this run fighting Chanel because I really haven't been using the sword and shield all that much. I think I've grown to favor the greatsword. So the sacrifice that my shield will shatter if I use it too much isn't going to hurt me in the slightest. And by redeeming Chanel, I can get a little bit more health for the boss fights to come, which will make things slightly easier than they were last time. And it looks like I'm going to need all the help I can get. On the other hand, my parrying game is sometimes on point. She's really not all that tough, and honestly, I'm really hoping I don't have to fight the giant worm this time. That would be amazing. But we'll see, it's desperation time. And as much as I've practiced Nightmare mode at this point, I haven't gotten to Chanel very often. So I haven't had much opportunity to practice. At least the run button works when it really counts. I'm going to admit I don't have a whole lot left to say at this point, I don't think. It's going to be the same thing over and over again. I'm just slightly better at it now after all these attempts. Now I think had I put the fire on my weapon, I might have been able to pull it off this time. That's the closest I've ever come. The good news is the worm really isn't that much of a threat at this point. I say as I get chomped over and over. I think honestly the real point of this playthrough is going to be getting to talk to Chanel's ghost before fighting all the bosses that I previously defeated before her. So there will at least be some new information available. And also getting that running attack in when it counts. I'm used to fighting all these bosses with less stamina than this, so having the full stamina bar honestly takes some getting used to. Yeah, I know I said this was no threat, and then proceeded to prove myself dolefully wrong. But hey, look at me flipping all over the place. Can't normally do that here. And that's probably the easiest this fight ever gets. So I get a tiny bit more health, and move on to what is really the point of this playthrough. After, yet again, the cutscene that gives us no new information. I don't know why they don't let you skip the useless cutscenes and don't let you watch the ones that have any information in them. But I have posted in the Sinner's Sacrifice for Redemption Discord If the developers ever get it, maybe they'll put it in a patch. Who knows? Yeah, she doesn't have anything to say about herself, and I doubt she ever will. So let's move on to the next boss that I'm going to fight. Levin Undok, keeping this one second. When I'm pretty much as powerful as I am ever going to be. Well, let's see if anything that I've learned so far is going to help me. At least we get some advice. Well, I call it advice, but it basically amounts to, you know the game you've been playing? Kinda do that thing you do. Well, that was clearly not me being vigilant until the very end. But I do think I kinda have the measure of this fight by now. You know, no more double-digit death counts here. I don't always manage to parry her rapier, but when I do, I can take advantage of it. Yeah, as usual, I take an embarrassing amount of damage at the start of the fight. It's really pathetic. But I'm sure everybody's used to that by now. You know the drill. It takes me longer than it would take anybody with any tiny shred of skill at games, but I get there in the end. And yeah, I've confirmed, the axes don't work the way that they do in the Angron fight. You can't whack them at her with your sword or anything. Although sometimes they do fall down, and I don't really know what makes that happen. It doesn't seem to be hitting it with my weapon. If you've got good timing, you can actually get in some hits while she's switching heads. It can be surprisingly effective. But you gotta get out of there before the explosion. The greatsword does not make good defense. I'm gonna call this one repeatedly getting lucky. Far more than the average person should. But then again, that's my Dark Souls strategy too. Just keep getting lucky until everything in the game is dead. Yeah, definitely gonna get in some hits while she's summoning her other half. And really, it's not a bad idea to take out the lightning one, Undok, first. I think she'll stand there for a little while and I can hit her with some fire pots. Nearly fall off the ledge. Very, very nearly. And going back to my usual strategy of just taking it out from a distance. Although I don't think I've got enough spears to finish the job. Maybe I do. As long as I don't miss with any of them. And again, it's surprisingly nice having that little bit of extra stamina for a little more running before I stop to throw. Because Indok is totally dogging my heels here. Alright, that's done. Now we get to the hard part. I did not intend to switch weapons there. I was just trying to get back to my health, because I've got plenty of it, but I need to have it selected if I'm going to use any of it. I still don't know whether you can parry those axes. I know you can parry the horizontal one. And that was really bad. So parrying the rapier at this point is a little bit less profitable than it would be otherwise. Because even if she can attack you, you can still get hit with a chandelier. It'd probably be a good idea to just throw my last lightning spear at this point, get rid of those daggers. Not a good place to heal. And very close to the point where I just run out of healing and I don't need to bother watching my health anymore and just do whatever I can do. All these chandeliers are landing so close together, it's excessive. I mean, you don't have any walls. This room's gotta have enough lighting. I liked the timing of that. And now, we have done our final redemption for the game. We're going to destroy everything else, except for Chanel. See, it almost seems like there's some interesting potential story there, like Camberluce took a bribe in order to get the treasure, but they don't really go into any detail. Guess we'll pick this up next time.